Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
When I wasn't taking it and I was waiting for my operation, I was feeling very tired. Now I'm driving like 11, 12 hours a day. I told you I manage 15 gas stations. And I have so much energy. I even gave some of my pills for my son, and he said, Dad, this is good, so I like it. I'm healing so fast. It's like amazing. My family is so surprised because my wound closing up and doing so good. So that is working now that I'm start taking my those fruits and vegetables.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
The following is a live copyrighted presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for RadioLawTalk.com with your host, Frederick Penney, attorney at law. And now, RadioLawTalk.com.
Welcome to the most exciting, entertaining, and sometimes informative show on earth. No way are we better than one show, and that is the Alien Shows. You cannot beat a good alien show on the radio late at night while driving in Nevada, your car breaking down during a thunderstorm at 2 a.m. There's no way this show is as good as that. You just cannot produce a show that good. But this is the second best. Call us at 855-LAW-RADIO. I'm your host, Frederick Penney. Denise Dirks, Todd Cunin, my co-host, and our illustrious three-time Emmy Award nominee, but never a winner.
Never a winner. No.
Cal Hunter. Cal, just remember, I say this all the time. You have to remember when you show up for the award ceremony and you walk in and they ask you to stay in the back and help take down the chairs afterwards, just don't worry about winning, Cal.
And don't give you a share of the tips. Now, there's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. You should at least get the tips. But that's going to tell you you're not going to win, Cal.
You're out.
But if they take you to the front and you sit up front and they give you, free food, free everything else. But I know you received like fast food in the back. But that means you're going to have to try a little harder. But we at Radio Law Talk are going to do everything we can to get you not an Emmy, not a what is radio? Radio is
there's Marconi's and there's other
Sam?
stuff. Yeah, there's
well,
other stuff.
or if not, we'll make our own up at Radio Law Talk.
I like it. No, look, I'll tell you, being here with you guys is honor enough for me.
Okay, there we go.
I love doing it, and I'm grateful for it.
Forget the awards, then I guess we're good.
Yeah, when you win it, I get it.
Yeah. Wait, let's not get ridiculous here.
We can give them the twin awards. It'll start with a talkie, and then we can give him the walkie. And he'll just have a walkie-talkie and everything be fine.
Yeah, and usually when I get a walkie-talkie, it means out the door, Cal. Been nice to see you.
Oh, no, in your case. In your case, it means you're pushing the cart in front of you.
Once again.
Welcome to our new affiliates. We're excited to have WJNT Jackson, Mississippi, joining our station, 1180 a.m. in Jackson, Mississippi. Whew, that's a powerhouse. That's a 50,000-watt station. WXAN Murfreesboro, Illinois. Welcome, 103.9 FM. And WRTA, Cal, Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Yes, like a guy named Albert who has a can of chicken of the sea. Albert Tuna.
Altoona, Pennsylvania. Right. I'm going to look up and figure out. I bet it's a beautiful place. 1240 AM and 98.5 FM. Welcome, our three newest affiliates this week. We love when you guys join us because we love our show. We're going to talk about the Weinstein case. We try to every hour, this is a 3-hour show, talk about separate segments, but Weinstein's just too big. There's too much to talk about. And we're talking about Weinstein, the latest testimony from the witnesses. First of all, the witnesses that are coming in to testify concerning prior bad acts, and then those testifying to corroborate that, and then we're going to get to actually some of one of the testimonies of the individuals that is making an allegation here of sexual assault.
And is one of the alleged victims.
That's exactly right, and that's what we're going to talk about. And then we're going to talk about Judge Ginsberg speaking out about at a event and really, figure out, is this stuff that that justices of the Supreme Court should talk about? She has some interesting things to talk about and bring forth. We're going to talk about Facebook writing a big check, why they wrote a big check. But the most important thing we do is every hour is everyone's favorite, case or no case. Cal, roll it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was sitting here looking and going, how can I update my computer now? No, okay, here we go.
Now it's time to play Case or No Case.
Hence, 3-time Emmy Award nominee, but never a winner for reasons such as that.
Well, I'll be awake eventually. Now, here's the thing. This tale involves something where someone alleged something was free. And that is the crux of this. So let's get jumping right into it. The fellow's name who was upset about all of this is Philip Charvat, or Charvet. You went to New Orleans, Charvat, Denise. I'm going to guess Charvet.
Charvet.
Philip Charvet, alleging that a certain cruise line would illegally call consumers all the time, tell them they want a free cruise. And when they accepted, the consumers were then asked to pay certain fees, according to Charvet. And this company, the Carnival or whatever line it was, I'm not going to say.
It wasn't Carnival necessarily.
Well, maybe not have been. This cruise line, whatever it was, kept those fees, and that's how they made money on the cruises, so it wasn't really free at all. He said, this doesn't seem free to me, so he sought legal counsel. And I ask you, Fred Penney, to begin with you.
Yes.
Case or no case? What say you?
Case, and they win because you can't offer stuff like that, and I have no idea what the law is. Next. I absolutely have no idea. No freaking idea.
Okay.
So Case who wins, though?
Case who wins is the
Philip
Phillips.
And to the dealers left, Mr. Todd Cunin, what do you say? Case or no
well,
case?
Before you go to Todd.
Yes.
There's strategy here. Those of you who are first joining us, case or no case is determining whether or not there is a case, and if there is a case, what the outcome is. And we have to figure that out, the three of us. We get points for this, and the winner at the end, Denise, what happens to the winner? 50 points.
We get whatever we want from the other people.
On a dinner-wise.
Well,
right.
I took it as whatever we want. Hey, we've been talking about Weinstein too long.
Okay, all right. Woo! Glad she said that.
In the movie?
Okay. Wow.
Well, I'm just playing down Denise's lane here. That's all.
Denise,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd. That's what we do here.
I have to say, I'm going to agree with Fred. I wish I could go different, but yeah, you can't offer something that's free and then end up, somehow making them pay for it. So yeah, I say it's free. I say
it's a case.
It's case, and
Philip
wins.
And Ms. Dirks, Denise, what say you?
I've had this happen to me. I've had somebody call and say, hey, you get this free cruise to the Bahamas. All you have to do is pay the port of entry fee. And you have to pay some other fee
for the whole boat.
Well,
$10,000.
I figured what they did is they got so many people that paid the fee that the boat had to pay, so they could let them come on free, and the other people that were paying. So I think as a way to pay the taxes up front. I think this is, unfortunately, because it's not enough facts. I have to say that I think that we're missing a major fact. First of all, and secondly, I think that it is a case, but Philip loses.
You think Mr. Charvet comes out on the short end of that legal stick, as it were, do you? Okay.
I do, because I think it was fully disclosed, and they were not, they were fees, and he didn't have to accept the free cruise or whatever it was he had to accept in order to do it. So
can you do it in a minute and 30 seconds, Cal?
I think I can. Let's just say those of you who say it was a case, may I see your hands, please?
No.
That would be Fred and Todd and Denise. Well, here's how that works. It's not going to play, but congratulations to you.
Oh.
It is, in fact, a case.
Good,
Yay,
we got
a
case. All right.
All right, now, here's the deal. The cruise line lost back in 2018. A settlement administrator asked the 2 million claimants to provide proof that they got the call on their cell phones because there were many claims filed under false numbers. Once people found out, they said, they called me. So they had to prove it. Once they could prove it, the estimated fee return was $300 a person. And guess what? the lawyers kept about 40% of all of it.
Good for the lawyers.
So the
Good
people who made the money there were the legal dudes, and the people who did not were the people who were harmed by the whole thing. But it was a case, and the plaintiff won in that case.
Nice.
So 1 point for Denise. And that, friends.
Oh, we get 2. Todd and I each get 2, and Denise gets 1.
And that is case.
All right.
Or no case.
All right. Bam.
What's the points for?
I don't know. We don't. Doesn't matter. We're going out to break. But all right. That's case or no case. We're going to be back with the Weinstein trial. I'm Fred Penney, your host of Radio Law Talk with Denise and Todd. We'll be right back.
By the way, next hour, case or no case takes you to Canada and involves cats. I am not making this up, and I just don't think you'll want to miss it. It's really good. So that's case or no case for next hour right here on Radio Law Talks. If you stay there, we promise we'll be right back with more fascinating discussion on the law after this.
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com. Not all law firms have extensive experience in all areas of the law. It's wise to look for firms that have knowledge and understanding in your particular area of concern. So go to prolawfirms.com. They have listings of attorneys in key areas of practice, such as family law, estate planning, personal injury, bankruptcy, and so forth. When you're looking for a lawyer that has extensive experience in your particular area of need, go to prolawfirms.com. That's prolawfirms.com.
ProLawFirms.com is not a law firm and does not endorse or recommend any specific law firm.
Jason Rosbach here with Fred Penney, managing attorney from Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers. Now, Fred, what type of cases are you dealing with now, and what sets you apart?
Jason, we help people with all types of personal injury cases. We're former insurance company trial lawyers. We understand the other side, which gives us a distinct advantage over our competition. Remember, we don't get paid unless we win.
That's Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennylawyers.com or give them a call, 1-800-616-4LAW. That's PENNEY lawyers.com.
This is Denise Dirks. We can represent clients in divorce, legal separation, child and spousal support, custody, termination of parental rights, step-parent adoptions, guardianships, and even conservatorship matters. Call 1-877-886-7186 for a consultation.
The law offices of Denise L. Dirks provide family law services in Northern California. When the law affects your family, call 877-886-7186. The family of attorneys at Denise L. Dirks is here to help.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penney of Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials, so just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at PenneyandAssociates.com. See, that wasn't so bad.
I'm going to Quick Quack Car Wash. Get my car washed, make it quick, quack, pretty, shiny, sexy, just because I want to. Don't drive dirty. Going to get my car suds at the Quick Quack Car Wash. It's the Quick Quack, quickest and the cleanest by far. We're talking 3 skinny minutes sitting right in your car wash. 100 feet of cloth, washing your car at the Quick Quack Car Wash. Any Honda, Mazda, Ford, or Chevy, Sauber, Cadillac, Quick Quack will spruce her up just like that. You'll be happy looking snappy. You'll be glad you was at the Quick Quack Car Wash. Get on the web and go to don'tdrivedirty.com and see where you got your closest Quick Quack in the local area. Get in your car, get in your truck, get on the road, come visit the duck at the
Quick Quack Car Wash, where your car will always leave happy, guaranteed. They take pride in being clean and green by conserving and recycling the water they use, only at the
Quick Quack Car Wash. Quick Quack.
Even in the hustle and noise of this modern world, we feel the pull of the forest, to walk under the canopy and feel transformed. National forests are essential to life. Majestic and grand, they clean our air, supply drinking water to millions, and provide homes to countless wildlife. They fuel our imaginations, inspiring us to think big, and now's the time to do just that. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why we're replanting millions of new trees across the country. The Arbor Day Foundation needs your help. We've heard the call of the wild, and we've answered. Scientists, foresters, volunteers, and members Together, we can preserve and protect our heritage and legacy. We must act now so that the generations of today and tomorrow can continue to depend on our forests. Visit arborday.org. See how you can help.
You're listening to RadioLawTalk.com. And now back to your host, Frederick Penney.
Let's dive right into it. Miss Wolf is one of the individuals that is testifying against Harvey Weinstein as showing prior bad acts. She is not one of the people alleging or in the complaint for sexual assault, but she testified, I believe this past week. I can't remember if it was Friday or Thursday, but she's talking about him taking her up to the apartment, going up to the apartment. No, actually went to this a terrace of some sort out the back. Where was her first interaction with him?
She was a cocktail waitress at a place, and he came in, always sat at the owner's table, and he had taken her up to the terrace. Now, this is the first incident. Took her up to the terrace, and we don't want to get descriptive about what he did. Let's just say that he didn't touch her up on top of the terrace. I mean, he held her by the arm and led her there, but once they got to the terrace, he turned around and, I will say, engaged in an activity by himself that would have constituted indecent exposure, lewd act in public in any jurisdiction. She threw a towel at him and left. Right. That's the first interaction.
But now here's the issue when they cross-examine her, saying, then on a later occasion, she's brought by an individual, apparently maybe an assistant of Weinstein, or I don't know. Again, these are all allegations that says, come meet him at his New York apartment, and she goes. And she, at that point, things occur that she does without her consent, and she didn't call the police, obviously on cross-examination. That's what they're arguing, is why didn't you call the police? Why did you allow a stranger to take you to this individual's apartment when you knew what he had done before was kind of a lewd act that you complained about? And that's actually what they cross-examine her on. And those are good, legitimate questions.
Exactly. And look, one of the things that the defense is trying to do here, and that they always try to do in cases, the defense attorney always has to have their mind towards, worst case scenario, we lose, are there issues that we can file an appeal on? Now, the introduction of prior acts evidence, common motive and scheme, these four witnesses that we've been talking about, can be perilous and detrimental to the prosecution's case if on appeal the defense can argue that those witnesses were improperly admitted and that they so tainted the jury pool that the jury ultimately convicted because of what happened to the corroborating witnesses and not necessarily on what happened to the named victims. And what the defense is going to try to do is to show that the accounts given by each corroborating witness are so different and so disparate and not like each other that it was error to admit them under a, quote, common plan or motive scheme, because they didn't occur in the same way. And if they can do that and they lose, then the argument to the appellate court is the evidence was prejudicial, shouldn't have been brought in.
Yeah, those of you who are first joining us, Todd Cunin is a former prosecutor in Tennessee and in California, and now a defense lawyer. I'm a personal injury lawyer, and Denise does family law. So kind of and Cal plays a lawyer on TV. So,
that's right.
Or at least at his house he does.
In my dreams.
It feels like they're trying to get the common theme that Weinstein initiates the contact, that Weinstein uses his power and contracts and ability to get readings for these people as some kind of a offer to get them to go with him, and that Weinstein just says to people, though, this is just part of the business.
Yeah, but what's interesting is the most important part is, by the way, it's a woman that's cross-examining her, that's on Weinstein's team, says, by the way, you never said these stories before when you talked to the prosecutors or the press before. You had a different. She didn't fill it all in. And
about the prior
occurrence. And what the interesting thing is, then that kind of a little bit of a bombshell. And by the way, didn't they send you to a memory doctor?
Yeah.
And there's objection about using the word memory doctor, but that's basically what it is. We're going to help you remember things. And boy, to me, that's kind of a stab.
Yeah, we talked a couple months ago about the fight that Weinstein and the prosecution was having over their experts, and one of them was a memory expert.
Cal, go ahead.
I was just going to say, to be clear, just because a lot of folks who are just tuning in for the first time go, sexual assault is sexual activity or sexual contact or conduct that is unwelcome on the other person in this group. Is that correct?
Generally speaking,
generally
yes.
speaking.
Yeah, I mean, is that about right, Todd?
Yeah, that's a very broad-based way to describe it. Accurate, yes.
That's right. Okay, don't forget 855-LAW-RADIO or 855-529-7234 if you want to join in.
And again, this witness here is one of those where the defense is trying to show her account differs from others. With others, it was an individual that had arguably no prior inclination that Weinstein would engage in this kind of activity, showed up to talk to him about an acting role or something, and then this activity is sprung on them. Well, in Wolf's case, you had the prior incident that occurred on the terrace. There's no evidence in anything we've read where they even discussed acting at that point. And then she goes to him at a private location, whether brought to him or whatever, but she goes there knowing that this other incident had previously occurred. And so that is different than the way it happened with other people. And then the other inconsistency where they said, how come you didn't tell this to prosecutors? It's one thing if a witness doesn't tell anybody because they're scared and they don't say anything, but when prosecutors are interviewing you and you've had a sufficient amount of time or a period of time from the incident to the time the prosecutors are meeting with you about this case, and your story changes from that interview to what you said on the stand, that is big.
Yes,
especially if in the intervening time they sent you to somebody
memory doctor
to help you remember something.
Here's the other thing. So don't forget, a lot of this has happened around 2004. We're going to jump forward to 2013, where Jessica Mann is going to testify. She's one of the named victims, and all the stuff that we've been hearing about is basically prior bad acts. Now we're going to jump to the actual witnesses. They're going to testify that in 2013 this occurred, which was within the statute of limitations. We're going to be back. Join us. I'm Fred, man. We have a good time here. Isn't this great to be here at Radio Law Talk?
Seems like sexual allegation time travel, but we'll engage in it after the break right here on Radio Law Talk. Stay tuned. There's much more coming up.
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-814-5108. 800-814-5108. 800-814-5108. That's 800-814-5108.
Oh, that's Stone. Oh, come on.
Time to get back to Radio Law Talk on RadioLawTalk.com and on your favorite radio station.
So Jessica Mann is claiming in 2013, again, these are allegations that, at the time she was, quote, a fledgling actress. Some are saying that she met Harvey Weinstein at a event. She's down at the bar talking to him. And what happens is he said, and to her credit, and, which is he's apparently getting noticed. He's a well-known producer. And so he says, hey, let's just go up to my room because this it's bothering me, all these people, noticing me. So they go up, and things occur against her will. She argues against her will, and naively she goes up there, and she's a little stunned, and then leaves. But then they have another meeting, and more things occur.
And she's told she's going to do a reading, right?
Yeah. She's told she's going to do a reading, and things occur. But you gotta understand, he's a bigger guy. I don't know how he looks. He's looking at the old frail man look, so you can't tell how big he is. But apparently he's a pretty good size, and he gets mad, according to her testimony, if you say no to him. And he started getting mad and tightening his grip on her, basically as he wants more and more things that she doesn't want to give up. But the issue is that is damning to her case, that the defense did something very interesting and hardly brought it up, was she did have a relationship with him continuing, where there's emails saying how much she cares for him or loves for him, but there was a relationship that was ongoing for some period of time. But what the interesting part of it is, defense never even brings it up. I mean, in their opening statement they brought it up, that the evidence is going to show as follows, and it talks about emails to Harvey that are, really sweet, and, their boyfriend, girlfriend, but they don't bring it up on cross-examination.
Yeah, but they can always call her as a witness on their case.
That's exactly right.
And if they're making a plan that they're going to show the similar defects in these different women's testimony, maybe that defect is going to be in there, and they're going to play that all out.
And one of the actual emails says, quote, I love you, always do, but I hate feeling like a booty call. I mean, that was one of her, they're claiming that her emails are going to show. So this is interesting. She does describe in detail what he looks like and stuff like that, but I don't even know if anyone's even gonna argue that they didn't have a relationship, that she would have known that. But wait till defense comes up.
She
this
kind
is going to be
of
interesting.
argues some physical dysfunction, of him too.
Described quite a bit, but if she hated being a booty call, why did she respond to the booty call? This is what a defense lawyer is going to say. Well, so you hated it so much, but you came running.
Well, it's not that it was a continued relationship, and so I guess the one argument of the one jumping on the other side, I can't remember who it was, Wolf or the other gal, said that he apologized, said sorry, and she truly believed that he was. And he probably was fairly charming, and okay, I'll go back, because he said he was sorry, he wouldn't do it again. And he was a powerful man, there's no doubt.
Now, in this case, unlike some of the other cases, it's alleged that he reached out to these folks and scheduled a meeting, and they had to go to his hotel room, and that's where the meeting started. But when they showed up, it was clear he had other things on his mind. This one here, party first, then they met later at a hotel bar where they're having drinks, and he said, I'm being noticed. Let's take this to my room. That's hard for a young person with a movie mogul to say, no, I'm not going to do it. I mean, it's easy for us to Monday morning quarterback what you should have done and what happened there, as opposed to being in the situation with the potential for all of your hopes and dreams, and this person wants to go there, and at this point, There's probably not a lot of people who knew about what Harvey Weinstein was up to. Obviously, nobody had filed complaints. He's still, I mean, good heavens, you've got Meryl Streep in accepting an award who refers to Harvey Weinstein as a god, when arguably the best actress in the world refers to this person using that kind of language. Who isn't going to want to have that person help them in their career? She goes up to the hotel room. This stuff happens.
And this was their first meeting.
Yes, this is all in their first meeting. Now, to your point about how big he is, Harvey Weinstein is, according to this, my size. He's 6 feet, 203 pounds. That's what this. I'm looking here at
He's
one.
over 200 pounds.
Well, no, at the time, and he's put on weight.
No, I'm talking about Todd.
What? I'm
203. No, just teasing you.
I'm actually 207 along in there, but he's about.
I'm 210.
Yeah, but he's about my size. And by the way, Fred and I are using Hollywood math.
I'm 150.
So clearly, there was one of these. There was one of these witnesses previously where you were doing the math, and you tried to say, okay, if she's 40, if this happened when she was 20 and 93, then or 2004, then she has to be this. No. If it happened and she was 25 years old in 1993, then right now in 2020 she is 31 or 32, maybe. That's Hollywood math. Okay? Hollywood math. It's not how old you are.
Yes.
It's what you can play.
That's exactly right.
Okay. So that's where this is differing a little bit, her story from others. And then to the question, you can find the prosecution, to the account of, well, why did you continue to see him and do stuff? You have to understand that the idea of being a struggling actor isn't just that I'm having a hard time filing work. It is that I'm having a hard time eating consistent meals and making my bills and making sure that I've got enough money to make ends meet. It is a struggle. How close to poverty can I live on the dream that I am eventually going to make it? And then when you do start to have success or find work, and it's because of this person, then the balance is, if I tell people, if I don't respond to the booty call, if I don't do this, I have to go back to living in poverty. I will be blackballed in this industry. I will have to give up all of my friends. And we can argue about the morality of that and whether that's manipulative, sitting in the confines of a studio or in people's homes and driving around in the comfort of their own family and think about it as an academic exercise. We have to put ourselves in the shoes of the person that's actually living it. And that is a hard decision to make. There are people that stay in abusive relationships and marriages because the prospect of being out on your own is, I won't be able to feed the kids. I won't be able to do this. This is what I have to deal with to survive.
And during those time periods, that was the norm. It's not like, but even though they didn't want it.
Exactly.
You're right. So there is arguments on both sides of this, and we're going to continue to follow it. It's getting old. We beat it to death. We can talk about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, by the way, which I've met before. I have met Justice Thomas before. I can argue before the United States Supreme Court. I am barred to do that. And what a wonderful, sweet lady. When I met her, we were up in what's called the East Wing, and there's a special East Wing that we have breakfast with them, and it's in the very top of the Supreme Court building, and it's beautiful. It's got this big terrace, and she came in and talked about maybe 15 of us and met us, and it was like the Queen of England. I'm dead serious when I say this. People think I'm nuts. But it was she's like the Queen of England walking in. It just she had that look, that aura. She wore the white gloves, and then yet you've got Justice Roberts walking in. It's kind of like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, pound it. Complete opposite type of personalities. That he was just loose and relaxed, but she was very proper. But we're going to talk about some of the things that sometimes she says you wonder.
Denise, have you ever heard the phrase celebrity crush?
Yes.
Somebody's married, and this is my celebrity crush. This is my pro athlete crush. This is like, I've lost track of the number of times Fred has brought up Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that she may be his SCOTUS crush, Supreme Court of the United States crush.
Yeah.
Fred, I think you have a crush on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't know. I'm thinking.
So I'm not the only one to whom that is obvious?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I will say it. I'm admitting, I do. That's it. All right, done.
That's great. That's great.
I finally admitted it on air to thousands, millions, trillions of people. Yes, she's great. And do I agree with everything she says? No. Do I agree with some? Yes. But what a wonderful lady. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm done.
She's amazing, actually.
I don't have a SCOTUS.
Brilliant. But let me tell you what she says. This is at an LGBT conference. We got 1 minute. I'm going to throw in a few things. It wasn't an LGBT. I thought it was.
No, LBJ.
Oh, what?
The Johnson Foundation.
Oh, I was wrong. Ignore me. Denise, that's right. Denise is here. It's the LBJ. That's okay. Whatever it is, the foundation. LBJ Foundation. Doggone it. I'm sorry. But it's just, they are laughing so hard. I messed up so big.
Their foreheads in their hands on the desk. It's a great visual.
That's why
not like she wouldn't be at that type of a foundation or that type of a presentation.
Okay, let's see if she's gonna go to that again. I guess we're talking on the way back when what she said, and that's why you join Radio Law Talk. It is not boring. It's crazy. We'll be back right after this, and I'll get LGBT and LBJ corrected.
Boy, that opened up a can of worms right there. We'll have more coming up on Radio Law Talk in just a little bit. Don't go away.
For legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com.
Jason Ross back here with Fred Penney, managing attorney from Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers. Now, Fred, what type of cases are you dealing with now, and what sets you apart?
Jason, we help people with all types of personal injury cases. We're former insurance company trial lawyers. We understand the other side, which gives us a distinct advantage over our competition. Remember, we don't get paid unless we win.
That's Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennylawyers.com or give them a call, 1-800-616-4LAW. That's PENNEY lawyers.com.
This is Denise Dirks. We can represent clients in divorce, legal separation, child and spousal support, custody, termination of parental rights, step-parent adoptions, guardianships, and even conservatorship matters. Call 1-877-886-7186 for a consultation.
The law offices of Denise L. Dirks provide family law services in Northern California. When the law affects your family, call 877-886-7186. The family of attorneys at Denise L. Dirks is here to help. If you're one of those independent people who wants your own business and you love food service, we just might have a great opportunity for you. Iceberg Drive-Ins. Iceberg is famous for its thick shakes and delicious food. We lend you our supply chain and expertise, and you can potentially have a thriving, successful, fun business that your customers will love. Iceberg Drive-Ins has some prime areas available right now, so if you're interested, get in touch with us right away. Go to icebergdrivein.com and click on the Contact Us button. Iceberg Drive-In, ready to grow with you.
I've got to get my car washed. This dirt, it just won't do. But I don't have no time today. I don't know what I do.
Man, I know this place right down the road. Quick Quack Car Wash. Hop inside, let's take a ride and watch this cat and shine. Just come and see, I guarantee your ride will steal the show. Come on, Quick Quack Car Wash. Don't drive that dirty car. Quick Quack Car Wash. They'll have you looking sharp.
This is Frederick Penney.
Todd Cunin.
And Denise Dirks with a personal invitation to you who have a business that could benefit from a little national exposure.
Radio Law Talk is heard in more than 35 markets across the United States, and Radio Law Talk provides that opportunity.
Some of you have listened to the show and thought, my business should be advertising there right now. We agree.
So email info@radiolawtalk.com.
And we'll get right back with you.
Let us help your business grow in multiple markets. Email info@radiolawtalk.com now.
Many women have so many clothes in the closet, but then we go to get dressed and find we have nothing to wear. We've all been there. We all want to be comfortable and fashionable at the same time, and it's difficult to find clothing that makes that task effortless. But at Letty & Company, you can find trendy, comfortable clothing that is affordable, things you'll want to wear every day. Shop with a purpose, online with free shipping. Just go to LettyandCompany.com. LettyandCompany.com.
That is Armadillo. Stop whining.
This is Radio Law Talk. And now, back to the show.
So Judge Ginsberg in the past had made disparaging comments about Trump, which I believe is inappropriate for any justice to make inappropriate marks about any person politically, because they're supposed to be politically neutral. But in this event, this foundation event that she's at, she said, basically, look, she said, institutional government should work for the benefit of the people. The problem is, I want to see patriots on both sides of the aisle. They're not cooperating. They're not working together, which is good for her. And she goes on and says, you know what? A lot of us don't agree on the courts. One of the most functional places is the Supreme Court of the United States. She said each justice shakes hands with the other, and that's the way of saying, yes, you circulated a pretty spicy dissent yesterday, but we're all in this together, and we know that what the institution we serve is ever so much more important than our individual egos. So to make it work, we have to not just tolerate, but genuinely appreciate each other.
Yeah, and you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the push right now with attorneys. In our state, attorneys are being told you need to have, well, mainly, I know in our state, and civility. Our case laws talking about the lack of civility between, our brethren. All of that. So civility is a major issue, and
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, this is just the Fred Gator,
This just should be background for any time. We should just play it when Fred comments.
I'll have to.
About Judge Ginsberg.
So when Fred talks about Judge Ginsberg,
he's my friend.
I want to hear Barry White in the background. My darling,
yeah.
I'll tell you, man. I met you, if you remember.
I'll pull that up.
I'll show the picture.
I'll pull that sometime.
I'll show the picture. I'm sure she's got it hanging up in her room.
To Denise's point, it's not just the state of California. I agree. We even saw this, and we do not reference what's going on. It's not a political statement, but I was watching a little bit of what's going on in our nation's capital, and I even saw Justice Roberts admonish counsel and House managers on both sides. And it was the first day of the trial or the hearings and everything going on, admonish them to speak to each other with civility and in proper decorum, and remember that, because if you don't, look, I understand. It's tough because we live in an adversarial system, right? And and any other time you use the word adversarial, you're adversarial on the playing field with sports, and people get trash talking back and forth. We get adversarial when it comes to war in battles, but if we're going to use a sports analogy, you can be adversarial and have good sportsmanship. And I think that is what applies here.
And that's what she's saying. And the interesting thing she went on and said, this is Duke law professor was the one at this forum, was kind of the liaison. And he kind of said something against Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. And it's interesting that Ginsburg popped back at him and said, my two newest colleagues, this is a quote, are very decent, very smart individuals. Wow. I mean, that's,
she's also come out and openly said that she was very proud of Kavanaugh because he had mostly females that were his assistants and his law clerks and the attorneys that worked for him, and she was very happy with that. She said a lot. She's commented a lot against Trump, but even Chief Justice Roberts has made comments not directly naming Trump, but responding to things that Trump has done, saying, hey, our judicial branch is the most professional in the world, and we are absolutely impartial, and we're not going to get involved in politics, and you can't call our judges names or insinuate that they are dealing with politics in their day-to-day operations, because we work hard to take politics out of our job.
And the impeachment trial, don't forget, he's over it. He's the guy over it, and apparently Elizabeth Warren handed him something to say, and he gave her the stink eye look.
Yeah, it was terrible what she said.
Yeah.
She implied everything was dysfunctional in the Washington, D.C., and everything was dysfunctional in the House and the Senate, and thus it's now going to, because he's presiding over the impeachment, it's now being dysfunctional in the Supreme Court. That's what he reacted to, because of all the things where there's no dysfunction, that I say our U.S. Supreme Court is operating very well.
Whether they agree or disagree, they just move on. Yeah, that's the way it is. Go ahead, Todd.
The question specifically that was asked, and this is what Justice Roberts really took exception to.
Well, he reacted. We don't know if he took exception.
Well, just the way it was.
Yeah,
if looks could, it reminded me often of the looks I get on the other side of the table from Denise. Okay, but the question was, quote, it has also become clear. Some of my colleagues, nope, never mind. Sorry, that is not the quote. Here we go. At a time.
This is Warren.
This is Warren's question that was submitted to be asked, and it was asked. Okay, so he read it. There was only one question that I know of that he refused to ask. At a time when large majorities of Americans have lost faith in government, does the fact that the Chief Justice is presiding over an impeachment trial in which Republican senators have thus far refused to allow witnesses or evidence contribute to the loss of legitimacy of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the Constitution?
First of all, what
a crazy statement. Yeah.
It's a presumptuous question by Senator Warren, no doubt. And the way she phrased it seemed unprofessional.
Right.
And it was not actually literate. If you read it, there are mistakes even in the
grammar and syntax are just not there. Right.
It was awful. I felt bad for Senator Schiff, who had to try to recover from that.
Schiff.
Yeah. Oh, Congressman
Schiff. And I agree. Right. I felt, no big fan, but I genuinely felt uncomfortable for Adam Schiff.
Me too.
That he had to stand up and respond to that. And quite frankly, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I agreed with how he tried to distance himself from that question.
And actually how he said that the presiding Chief Justice was doing a great job.
Yeah.
And there was no animosity amongst the people before this tribunal. As far as the Chief Justice.
Now, everything that we've been talking about has been about how lawyers address the court and how they need to address the court with civility and how lawyers address each other in court. But the bar rules also go beyond that to how lawyers are supposed to deal with each other when they are not on the record in court. And it's anecdotal, but it's about this topic. I had an occasion where I was representing somebody in a criminal case, and there was obvious conflict between me and the prosecutor. We did not get along. And my client saw it, and I couldn't understand where this was coming from. Well, for whatever reason, the case was reassigned to a different prosecutor, and changing in assignments, which is common. And the new prosecutor was somebody with whom I got along fine and we could work. And my client was amazed at how efficiently the process worked when rancor was taken out of it and people treated each other with civility. If there is ever any truth to the phrase, you attract more bees with honey than you do vinegar, or however it goes, that is very true.
Or as my wife would say, let's see, she always says it, What's the thing? The coat. Something about a coat in the sun and the wind. What's the? Oh, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to tell you when we come back.
That's the Aesop's fable where the wind and the sun say, I can bet I can make him take off his coat. The wind blows cold, the guy puts it on.
Right.
The sun decides it comes out nice and bright.
And he
off
opens
goes the
it up.
coat. Yeah,
That's my wife.
right,
My wife
yeah.
said I'm the wind.
Right.
We're going to be back and talk more about. Look, really quick. Facebook pays $5.5 million in a biometric class action suit. $550 million is what they pay. Who cares? Because guess what? That's nothing. They have too much money anyway, right?
You know when you have to endorse the check to prove that it's you?
Yeah.
I wonder if they endorse it with a biometric face.
That's exactly right. So anyway, there we go. That's going on with Facebook. We're going to come back this third hour. We've got a lot to talk about, a case or no case, and about a wealthy resident in Florida neighborhood. You got to hear these interesting ones, especially about a doggy divorce. We'll be back.
And our case or no case is about wealth and cats. Coming up next hour. You will not want to miss it. I'm kid you not. So that's coming up right here on Radio Law Talk. You stay right there. The show will continue at 6 minutes after the hour, online or perhaps on your favorite station. Don't go away.
You have been listening to RadioLawTalk.com, a copyrighted presentation of Radio Law Talk Incorporated.
Wayne Allen Root. I want all of you to get real. Get real. Get real water, that is. I live and die with my real water. It's the only stable negative ion alkaline water in America. I drink it everywhere I go, and it tastes great too. Real water has upped their game again. Now with the Real Water Concentrate, you can get real water anytime, anywhere on the go. Just a few squirts of the Real Water Concentrate, and you can transform any good purified water into real water. Basically, the concentrate adds trillions of extra electrons, turning your water into an alkaline, electron-abundant powerhouse. And here's an additional benefit. You could put Real Water Concentrate in your coffee, tea, or juice. Heck, it even improves cheap wine. I challenge you to give it the taste test. You'll be amazed. Here's the deal. Since you're one of my listeners, you get a free bottle of the Real Water Concentrate. Free. 100% free. All you have to do is pay the small shipping and handling fee. Call 702-381-1217. Tell them War sent you and get your free bottle. 702-381-1217. Go to teamgetreal.com.